Hey house guests, welcome to today's Celebrity Big Brother 2 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day, we've got Ken Wong, Kevin Claridge, and Kevin McPherson. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it and could not do this without you. And we think you're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. I feel like I'm slow blinking right now like a cat. That means we're friends. So anyway, when we left off yesterday, Tamar is the HOH for 5 minutes, and she's probably going to be putting Tom and Kato up on the block, right? So they're trying to come up with a plan to make it through nominations and eviction. So they want to convince Tamar that she really needs to break up Ricky, Lolo, and Natalie if she has any chance of winning this thing, because they are a strong trio and they're going to have to go at some point, right? Maybe do it now, I have the numbers, I don't know. But Tamar is not going to want to hear it from them. So they want to try and use Candy to get to Tamar because she's way more likely to listen to Candy than them, right? So anyway, they also have their own little individual plans here. Tom is acting all defeated, so people will want to keep him and be like, he sucks, he's not gonna play anymore, let's just keep him around because it's easier. And Kato's plan is to win the veto because he's on a lot of people's shit lists right now, and the chances of them voting to keep him are pretty low, so he knows he's got to win that veto. So then Candy was talking to Tamar because she is actually interested in working with Tom and Kato and breaking up that trio. So she's putting in the work for the guys, and Candy's like, all right, if you look at this trio, Natalie is the most likely of the three to get jury votes. Ricky is super smart, and Lolo is very athletic. So what do you think? And Tamar's like, it's way too early for that move. I can't do that right now. I'm not in a position to do that, especially since I can't play in the next HOH. So Candy's like, well, if it doesn't happen now, it's not going to happen. And Tamar says, trust me, Tom and Kato both have to go right meow. So Candy then presents some scenarios. She's like, all right, say Tom or Kato go this week. Then what if next week whoever wins HOH puts up whichever guy is left, let's just say it's Tom, and puts him up next to Dina. If one of them wins the power veto, Candy's scared that she's going to be the one going up, and there is a very strong chance of that. She might even be one of the first ones up there. So Tamar's like, yeah, well, you might go up next week, but you won't go home. And Candy's not exactly thrilled with that, because then she's like, all right, well, what if we get rid of Tom and Kato, and then it's like me and Dina up on the block. Dina wins power veto, so somebody from that group has to go up. Obviously, I'm going to go home, so she's not liking the way this is looking, but Tamar's telling her, I chose you to have a final five. I didn't choose Joey. I didn't choose Dina. Like, you're in that group with me, so just relax. So then Natalie, Lolo, and Ricky were strategizing. Doesn't Tamar see like how tight they are as a three? Those three are like always together. She's got to be thinking about this and saying like, oh crap, there's no way I'm going to get into that three. So at first, they were thinking about throwing the next HOH as long as Tom or Kato are not about to win. But then they realized, you know what? Dina and Candy would probably put two of us up, so maybe we shouldn't throw this thing. And they realized we should try to win everything from here on out. Imagine that. So then they're thinking like, who would we put up? So they're thinking maybe whoever's left out of Tom and Kato, obviously against either Dina or Candy. But Ricky's thinking he might want to nominate Dina and Candy initially and then backdoor the remaining guy. Isn't that crazy that there's only 3 guys left right now, and after the next eviction there could potentially be only 2? That's wild. What am I saying? I'm saying after the next one, there can only be 1, because we're assuming that a guy's going to go tonight, right? So then after the next one, oh my god, that's crazy. I don't think that's ever happened before. Definitely not. So anyway, they're waiting around for nominations, back to this week, and Tom and Kato both went to the diary room before noms to talk to the producers and officially request that Tamar not be allowed to say anything, like, untrue in her speech. I think they mean, like, defamatory, right? Because I feel like you can definitely say things that are not true, like, oh, this person voted for this person and blah, 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 or I heard them say this to this person. You can do stuff like that, but I think they mean more like defamatory. But Big Brother told them it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. They're not gonna show the Miss Cleo thing. Okay, so then they had the nomination ceremony, and Tamar put up Tom and Kato as expected, and it doesn't sound like her speech was crazy, because even before they put in those requests, Tamar revealed that Big Brother told her that she has to keep it nice. So she was wearing a sorry not sorry shirt. She's got some great shirts, I gotta say. Not today, Satan. But it sounds like people clapped at the end of the ceremony. I don't know why. That's weird. But yeah, at this point it looks like Kato is the target. He could be done if he doesn't win this power veto, because people do not want him around. Even Dina told Tamar that she would not use the power veto if she won. I don't know that that's 100% true, but it does seem like Dina is very much like a classic floater, you know, sucking up to whoever has HOH, I don't know. So she's like ready to drop Kato and Tom like this, even though she was super close to them before when they were in power. So anyway, after the ceremony was over, Big Brother treated the house guests to a Super Bowl feast. They had catered Mexican food. They had cupcakes that had the logos of the Rams and the Patriots. So they did get to find out who was in the Super Bowl, even though it was really freaking boring. They didn't get to watch the game though, so good for them. They didn't get to watch the game, but they did get the Snapchat glasses, so that's fun, right? All right, well, let's get back to Tom. His sad act actually seems to be working for him a bit. A little bit after midnight last night, he was in the kitchen. Lolo was like on the stairs going up to the HOH room and in Sam's spot. And Lolo asked him, like, how are you doing? Which is so out of character, right? But Lolo asks him, you don't feel like it's over, do you? And Tom's like, well, it sort of feels like that, yeah. So Lolo says, yeah, but you're gonna fight tomorrow, right? And she means in the competition, not like a Lolo fight, like blah. So Tom says, yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't wanna look like I'm quitting because that would be really lame, right? I mean, look at last season. And his breast milk is not depleted, so he can't use that as an excuse. But Lolo is like, yeah, I like that you're not going to give up. So Tom says he wants things to end on a more friendly manner. And Lolo's like, oh, stop saying end. Really? You're like screaming at this guy and calling him a piece of shit. And then you're like, oh, don't say that it's going to end. Really? So anyway, Tom says that he just wants to get along with everyone, have a nice time. And Lolo's like, yeah, I think everybody can feel that from you. More so you than Kato. They're not really feeling it from him. Kato is walking around like he's gonna beat the crap out of these people. Like, he is not playing around right now. So anyway, Tamar and Dina were watching this on the spy screen, and they're like, who's talking to who? Are they fighting? What's going on here? And then Dina was like, imagine if they realigned. Yeah, it was pretty funny because there's no sound on the spy screen, so they couldn't hear what was happening, but they were very interested because you wouldn't expect Lolo and Tom to be talking like this. So then after that conversation was over, Tamar and Lolo were talking in the HOH room, and Lolo's like, if we want Kato to go, we're gonna need Tom to fight harder. So we need to like put some pep in his step, get him a little bit more hyped up for this competition. So then Dina comes in, and I think Candy was in the bathroom at the time, like the HOH bathroom, but she did come in the room eventually as well. So Lola was telling them all about her short conversation with Tom, and I can't even believe this. Tamar says that Kato is manipulating Tom. She says that Kato has geared Tom to give up so that Kato can beat him in the power veto competition. Oh my god, are you serious? Like, are you serious right now? And then Lolo says that Tom is being bullied by Kato. Oh my god. What? So anyway, they all feel bad for Tom. So poor, sweet Tom, who they were yelling at the top of their lungs the other day. So they really do believe that he wants to make amends before he goes. And like I was saying, Kato is out for blood. He is ready to compete. they don't realize that Tom still wants to be there too. So anyway, Tamar says that she wants to talk to both of the guys before the competition. Just let them know it's nothing personal. Whatever happens in this house stays in this house. Like, she's not going to be worried about that when they're on the outside. And she says, God bless you. Good luck in your future endeavors. Okay. So then they're just chatting for a while. And then they see that Tom is back in the kitchen again. So Lolo invites him to come up and chat with them. So just a reminder, it's Lolo, Tamar, Candy, and Dina all up in the HOH room hanging out. So Tom walks in, he's like, what's going on, ladies? Like, this is my old apartment, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, ha, ha, ha. So Lolo says, she just wanted to say, we really appreciate how you're trying to make amends. And she says that she wants him to play hard tomorrow, and Tom says he intends to. So then Lolo's saying, like, I felt a really good energy from you the last few days, and we really like that. And Tom's like, cool, thanks. Like, he really appreciates that. So then Lolo's like, Tamar, do you have anything you want to say to Tom? So Tamar says, yeah, I just think you're a really great guy. And Tom says, thank you. I appreciate it. So they chat a little bit more as a group. It's very friendly. Nothing at all like we've seen before. So then Tom and Lolo leave to go to bed. But Tamar, Candy, and Dina are still chatting in the HOH room. And they're becoming a tight little group. Because Tamar's got to know that she's like on the outskirts of that group with Ricky, Lolo, and Natalie. So she's got her own little thing going now with Dina and Candy. So again, Candy brings up potentially splitting up Natalie, Lolo, and Ricky. And she's like, all right, just hear me out. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Just let me get through this whole thing. Because Tamar kept interrupting her, and she's like, just let me get the whole scenario out here. Scenarios. So she's like, let's just say one of the guys wins the power veto and comes down off the block. If you put up Lolo, for example, you would have me, Dina, and the guy that won the veto voting her out, which would make it 3-2. She would leave. And Tamar's like, yeah, but Kato or Tom have to go this week. If they stay, they're going to win all the competitions. They were dominating before. They can do it again. So Tamar's like, I can't get that kind of blood on my hands right now, especially not being able to play in the next HOH. She doesn't feel comfortable doing it. So Tamar is telling Candy, you just need to chill and lay low right now. You don't need to get involved in all of this. But Candy is in danger. I don't blame her for wanting to make a big move here, because she knows that once those big targets are gone, she's next. If there's no two sides like going at each other, she's going to become the new target. So she's trying to figure something out here. So anyway, today there's a lot of uncertainty because they still have to play the power veto competition. And who would Tamar put up if somebody comes down? I think, I'm not 100% positive on this, but I thought that Tamar told Candy and Dina that she would not put either of them up. But is this for real? Because that would only leave her buds, the trio, to choose from. So I don't know if that's for real or if she's just hoping nobody wins the veto. I don't know, but anything could happen. Anything can happen. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this power veto. Let me know in the comments who you guys are rooting for and who you want to see win the next HOH. I believe at this point that Kato is still the #1 target, but it's going to depend on what happens with this veto competition. So it's going to be a fun night. And until tomorrow, much love.